Well, since we've been on council since November, we've had a lot of people come and talk to us about the value of democracy, transparency, truthfulness, etc. And they've given us their interpretation of what that is. And in many ways, it was implied that the new council members don't believe in democracy or transparency, which is absolutely not true. So democracy cannot succeed unless those who express their choice are prepared to choose wisely. The real safeguard to democracy, therefore, is education. That was said by Franklin Roosevelt. When one of the council members writes a guest opinion that is supposed to educate the public on what actually occurred, it's supposed to be educational and represent the facts as they are. In this case, the facts were not as stated in the article. And tonight, as the public came up to speak, the same things were repeated. Dismantled, majority of council, democracy, 4-3, got it. Let's go back to the actual votes that took place on May 18th when we were discussing that topic. That evening, we had 3 votes that were 7-0, unanimous. 3 votes that were 5-2. 4 votes that were 4-3, and the 4-3 were not the same 4-3. Councilman McCoy was one of the 4 on 2 of them. Councilman Witt and myself were on the dissenting on 2 of them. So there is no new majority making decisions. And let's go back to when we were elected. Since we were elected, there's been 223 motions made that we were to vote on. 10 of them were withdrawn or not seconded. That left 213. Of the 213, 157 were voted as 7-0. 13 of them were voted as 6-1. 15 were voted as 5-2. 28 were voted as 4-3, and only 16 of those 28 was it the same 4 that voted for him. So when people talk about the new majority gutting, dismantling, not believing in transparency, it causes me to doubt that person's ability to represent the city of Longmont in a fair way. And that's why I brought the motion up for reconsideration. Now, as far as transparency goes, Councilmember Levison stated a quote from Ronald Reagan, trust but verify. The numbers that I gave you, you can verify anytime that you want, because I worked with city staff, city clerk's office, and there's a spreadsheet right now that will be updated every week that will reflect how everybody voted on any given motion, so that there's no question to who the majority is. I would say, based on the numbers that I gave you, we have a super majority in the 7 that are here. There is no division, there is no contention, and there's no reason to be creating that via articles that are written by a specific or by council members, no matter who it is. Likewise, I respect anybody's right to respond to an opinion, but as long as they respond to whoever wrote it and not necessarily attack the rest of the council unnecessarily, and represent the facts as they are, not use inflammatory language that the public then comes here and repeats. So to me, it's not that you offended me. I think it's the council itself that was offended by that. And to me, will you represent Longmont in a fair and open way?
I think it's time that I made a few comments about this, because I think it's germane. I don't always have to justify my votes, nor do I think I should. But I will tell you, if we're going to push it this far, you can talk about qualifications all you want. I look a little deeper than some of the things that you mentioned, and not to put you down, but I'm just saying I look a little deeper into some issues such as trust, integrity, communication, representation. And honestly, I will have to say that I was disappointed very much in the article written, but honestly, I think these are some of the issues that I take issue with in this situation. And this was the reason why I voted nay on this when it first came up. And I will be voting against it this time too. So I just think that we can do better. We all can do better. And I think the only way you do better is to show people you do better, not by just giving somebody a pass. And I don't think that we should be doing that. I think it's something that there's no vindictiveness, there's no nothing. It's just who you wish to represent your community at something that is very important, I believe. And I'll vote against it again.
I'd like to set the record straight. I didn't bring it up because I was angry. I was obviously dismayed with the article, but it has nothing to do with anger. It was the misrepresentation of the facts. Okay? You don't make statements without supporting them with facts. And what I presented to you tonight are factual data of the votes that were taken, and that there was no disassemblement or gutting of the LFCPA. And we can't, as council people, make general statements like that without supporting them with valid facts.